So I had a request for a bit more about my exercise login Notion, so I thought I'd share it here. And this is a template you can download for yourself and use, although I certainly encourage you to customize it for yourself as you start to add more things to it. But I'll show you a bit about how it works. So the name, whatever you want to do, you put in walked. The date is a date picker to show what day you did the exercise. The time is to just type in what time you did. I do military time, so that way if I do multiple exercises in a day, it's easier to sort. What type of exercise, this is where you want to customize. In the template here, I have 100 push-ups if you work through that. If you went to the gym, hiking, running, walking. So you certainly may have others. You can add whatever types you want in there. I like to put the distance in as a number, so that way I can go back and see how far did I walk this month? How far did I walk and run last month? You can do different kind of things on that, and I have it sum everything at the bottom. The route I like to have just so I can remember what route I went on. You could tie route and distance together because it should be the same, but we do a lot of different routes walking around our neighborhood, so I'll have some that just kind of, are a little more vague, but you could have a route that goes up to Main Street or around the loop, or, I'm sure you have names for different routes around your neighborhood that you walk or run. Any other notes? I mostly use these if I do push-ups or things like that to talk about how many I did. And then width, I have in the template is just a text field, but if you've seen some of the other videos, I like to tie things together. So in mine, that's actually a reference over to my people database, so I can tie in exactly who I exercised with, if anyone, in that case. So we'll go through today. We'll add a new one here. So new, so we'll say I ran alone. Went out and ran, and I did that today, so the 14th. Did it a little while ago, so we'll say it was around 7 o'clock, and the type was running. And the distance I did, we'll say 5 miles. And the route was my around the loop, the normal loop around the neighborhood, or I could add a new one, and then did it with no one. So again, I could type in my name if I did it with my wife, whatever. I could type things in there. Any other notes? It was awfully hot, or whatever kind of notes you have. And that's really all I do. And part of the reason I do this is because Garmin. I have a lot of stuff in Garmin. They've had some issues lately. I have some things in Fitbit. I've been doing more and more with Samsung Health, which isn't great, but works well with their watch. My wife does a lot with Apple Health. All this data is in different places, so I can let it be in those other places, but still have a master record of everything in here. So my exercise log goes back quite a ways. I backloaded a lot of exercise into it, so I can see historically what I had over time and really get a good feel for that, see who I exercised with, all kinds of stuff. And then, of course, what you can do, too, is put some filters on it and say, I'm curious, how much did I run this month? So I can add a filter saying where the type is run, and then you could do some filters around the dates, where the date is, 1 month ago. You can do something, or we can do on or before, I guess, or within all the different things, within the past week. How much did I run in the past week? You can do that, and again, it'll filter that and have the sum at the bottom and see that pretty quickly. So that can be kind of handy just to run whatever you want. You can set up some different views with some of those filters set automatically, but the only 2 views I have by default are everything. I don't need to run those kind of queries often, so I can just do a quick manual filter if I want, but you can certainly set that up if you want. And then the other one I like is the calendar view, just to kind of look back, especially as you get more things in here, you can quickly glance and see how your exercise has been or how consistent you've been, get a good look at that. And again, I like this to sort of go along with Garmin and some of those things because you can change tools, and there's, especially Garmin gets a lot more detailed, which is great, but it's harder to get just a quick look at what's going on. So that's how this works. Again, this is a free template you could download, and I encourage you to grab it and then make some substantial tweaks to it, especially in the people area, the route to use, the types of exercise, whatever. But pretty simple, but pretty effective and does a good job. So if you have any other tweaks for it, let me know, and we can certainly incorporate those.